Copy the clipboard. Hello there. If there's anybody on here, I'm just emailing myself really quickly. I should have did this beforehand so I can join from my phone. Hello there. If there's anybody watching, I'm not able to see if there's anybody on here. But let me join here from my phone real quick. There we go. So this way I can see. Hello there. I can see somebody's watching. Say hello for me. If you're on here watching, I'm gonna get ready to get started in a minute. Allow. I'm just entering from my phone as well. Oops. So that way, let me turn this down. All right. And then I'm gonna go in from Facebook. All right, let me turn this down. All right, bam. All right, I'm getting ready to get started. Hi, Shanti. Thank you for getting on. I'm about to get started in a moment. I see there's a few people watching. Do me a favor and just say hello in the comments for me so I can see who's on here, because when I'm live from StreamYard, it does not show me who's on here. It just shows that there's people watching. Shanti, I did see when you joined. Thank you so much. Oh, you wasn't playing. I literally just met Ashanti on Facebook the other day, and she was not playing about this credit thing. So I'm gonna get ready to get started in a minute. I just want to wait a couple moments just to see if anybody else is going to get on here. I'm going to be talking about credits, and I'm going to be talking about personal credit, and then I'm going to go into business credit. So if you seen my post the other day, you saw that I just recently got a new car, and I did not want to get a new car anytime soon. Like, I knew I wanted to eventually get a car in my business under my business name, but I did not want to get one anytime soon because I was not ready to start paying a car note again. I paid my car off a few years ago, and it's been nice not having a car note. So I was not happy about it, but you know, it came sooner than expected. So I said, if I'm gonna be paying a car note, if I'm gonna take on some more debt, because if you know me, you know I talk a lot about being debt free. But guess what? I said, if I'm gonna take on some debt, I'm going to take on debt in a way that it's going to be an asset to my business. So because I got my car under my business name, it is not considered a liability to me, even though, like I said, I do have a car note. It is actually considered an asset to me. And I'll talk a little bit late. Well, I can share now. The reason why it's an asset to me is because I can write off the interest that I pay on my car loan. And I also can write off depreciation, right? Because we know cars appreciate as soon as you leave off the lot. But guess what? I can write that off. Let me make sure this is public on my page. Hold on one second. I'm getting ready to get started. I see somebody else is on here, but hold on. I'm gonna make this public. So if anybody wants to share this with anybody or invite anybody to this, feel free to do so. All right. So I started building business credit about literally like a year ago. And one of the reasons why, before I start talking to you all about business credit, one of the reasons why I wanted to revisit personal credit again is because there's a couple different ways that you can build business credit, right? It's you can use your personal credit. Well, you can, the slow way is to do it without using your personal credit, which is the way most people want to do it. Most people, they don't want to have their personal credit tied up with their business, which is understandable, but that way is a little bit longer. So I'm going to teach you all that way, but I'm also going to teach you how to use your personal credit to build your business credit. And because I'm going to be teaching you how to use your personal credit got to be on point. So we get ready to get into this. Hey, friends. Hey, sis. Thank you for getting on here. I'm about to get started. I wanted to give a couple minutes before I started sharing my slides because I wanted people to get on here. I know it's late, it's 8:30, but I'm officially off class. You know, I teach until 8:30. So I had to wait until I finished working. But I'm gonna get ready to get started here. I see there's 6 people watching. I wanted to wait for a couple more, but it's all good. Let me go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna share my slides. And if you have any questions while I'm sharing my slides, I will not be able to see my I won't be able to see my comments or anything. So if anybody has any questions, I will get to it later. I'll try to look at my comments from my phone. But if you have any questions, I'll definitely get to them later. And one of the things I want to mention here is, you know, anything that I share with you tonight, you can verify. You don't have to take it for, what do they say? You don't have to, I forgot the saying, I forgot the phrase, but you can always go research. Like, I want you to research. I want you to prove me right or prove me wrong. So just take this as informational purposes only. All right. So I'm gonna get ready to share my screen here. I'm gonna share my screen. Let me see. Let me hit share screen. And then, hey, Amber. All right. So, oh, wait a minute. Let me start. Okay. So let me share my screen. Bam. All right. Now let me fix this so that I'm on here like that. And I'm going to go ahead and hit present and we're going to get it started. So again, tonight is going to be about personal credit. Why am I talking about personal credit? And I've been talking about business credit on my page. I'm going to be talking about personal credit because one of the ways to build business credit, the quick way, is to use your personal credit. But you cannot use your personal credit if your personal credit is not on point. Okay. So this is what we're going to talk about. Screen test. Make sure you can see my screen. Somebody tell me in the comments, who is this on my screen? I want to test to make sure you all can see my screen. Tell me who this is. Oh, you said you was on YouTube, Amber. Okay, that's cool. Somebody tell me who this is. Somebody tell me in the comments who this is. I'm not going on until somebody tell me who this is. Hint, hint, he's my ex. France, you're right. Well, not my boo, my ex-boo. He's my ex. But somebody tell me who this is in the comments. Not your Amber. Somebody tell me his name. Who is this? Let me know. Thank you, Janice. Janice understood the assignment. Okay. Somebody said, Shanti said chocolate bar. Yes. So yes, that is Boris Chestnut. Thank you, Janice. So now I know that everybody can see my screen. Fran said, my bad. Your future, you know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. How your future husband gonna be my ex-husband? All right. Anyway, all right. So y'all can see my screen. I just wanted to make sure. All right, so disclaimer, this presentation is for informational purposes. It does not serve as legal or financial advice. One of the things that I always tell people, I am teaching you from what I've learned from experience and also just me doing a lot of, I told you all before, I do a lot of classes. I'm always researching and reading and watching videos and all that good stuff. So I'm not a financial expert. However, I do consider myself a credit coach. Okay, so it is not legal or financial advice. I'm giving you all suggestions. Okay. So let's talk about some myths when it comes to credit. One of the myths is that your credit score is the most important part of your credit report. That's a myth. Most people, they focus on their credit score and they don't really think about everything else. While your credit score matters, what's most important is what's on your credit profile. So I want people to stop worrying so much about your score. Now, your score matters, right? If you're trying to get a certain credit card, if you're trying to get a mortgage, or if you're trying to get a new car, right? Score matters because some lenders, they want your score to be at a certain number, right? Some lenders may want you at a 680. Some lenders want you at least a 700. And then sometimes you can be as low as maybe 580 to qualify for certain things. But just going forward, I want you all to try not to focus so much on your score. And I want you to think about what's actually on your credit, because as you start fixing things on your credit profile, as your profile becomes healthy, your score is going to be positively impacted anyway. Okay. So that is a myth that your credit score is the most important part. The truth is that it is important, but you should not solely focus on your score. Okay. Because like I said, it's going to be positively impacted. All right. Another myth is that it takes years to build up a healthy credit report. Not necessarily. All it takes is knowing how to play the game. And when I say play the game, I mean just play the credit game. Like once you understand credit, which I hope you all by the end of this, I hope you all understand credit a little bit better. Once you understand it, it's not really hard. It's really easy. A lot of this stuff we can really do ourselves, even though I'm glad that there are credit repair specialists. I'm glad that there are people who help restore credit and things like that. And I love that. But some things you're able to do yourself. And you can have a healthy credit report. I don't care how your credit is looking right now, how bad you think it is, and how far off you think you are. There's ways to fix it. Okay. All right. Then another myth. This is a big one right here, that credit cards are bad. I hear people saying so many things about credit cards, and the truth is you just need to know how to use them correctly. The problem is that a lot of us, we graduated high school, a lot of people went to college, they started getting those credit card offers and signing up for credit cards here and there, maxed them out, and then it negatively impacted their credit score. A lot of people have a bad taste for credit cards because they don't know how to use them correctly. But credit cards are not bad. And one of the things that I'm going to teach you tonight is how to use it correctly. They're not bad. It's actually having a credit card, for those of you that's like building from scratch or trying to rebuild. That's one of the best things you can have. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later for people who are either building from scratch, meaning they have no credit at all, or people who are rebuilding after maybe a bankruptcy or maybe just coming from a really bad situation. Let me go right here real quick. Let me just see if I have any. Make sure there's no questions or anything. Okay, no. All right. Hey, Nika. All right. So, myth, credit cards are bad. The truth is you just need to know how to use them correctly. All right. Another myth, that Credit Karma scores are inaccurate. The truth is that Credit Karma uses the Vantage score model, which is different from FICO. Credit score is not inaccurate. I see so many people. Literally, I just added this slide the other day because in one of the financial groups I'm in, this girl posted and she said, if you have Credit Karma, delete it right now because they are incorrect. All my scores are different from Experian. And that is because Credit Karma uses the Vantage score model. When you go to your Credit Karma, you're looking at your Equifax and your TransUnion, which is the Vantage score model. It's always going to be different from FICO because they have different models. They don't score the same. Now, your FICO is the one that's going to be most important because that's the one that most lenders check. Although the Vantage score, it seems like more and more lenders now are actually checking Vantage models. So I wouldn't discredit Credit Karma. I would just say make sure you're using something in addition to Credit Karma because you see your Vantage scores and it may be higher than your Experian, your or even higher than your Equifax and TransUnion, the FICO version. Okay. So Credit Karma, again, is not bad. Just make sure you're using something else in addition to it. So that way you're getting your FICO score as well as your Vantage score. All right. So first things first, before anything, pull your credit report. So that's the first thing that you want to do before we do anything. Pull your credit report. You won't know what's on there if you're not looking at your credit report. So one of the sites that you can go to is annualcreditreport.com. And I recommend annualcreditreport.com because they actually will show you they show everything. So annualcreditreport.com, and they actually are doing a free credit report every single week now. They used to only do once a year. That's why they're called annualcreditreport.com. But now they actually do it every single week now since we've been in the pandemic. Another good site is freecreditreport.com or Experian.com. This is a site that I use. Like I almost have OCD when it comes to my credit. So I'm literally like checking my credit almost every single day. So freecreditreport.com or Experian. And then you have Discover Scorecard. And then you have MyFICO. Now, MyFICO is a paid site. I will tell you all that. MyFICO is a paid site, but I don't use it. I use the free sites, and I have a subscription on Experian.com. But the people that I've talked to that use MyFICO, they say that they feel like that they get a more accurate score, a more updated score using MyFICO. For extra credit, credit.com, it allows you to see 28 different FICO scores. So if you ever wonder how your scores is looking for to a mortgage lender or auto lender. Let's say you get ready to try to buy a house and you want to see your mortgage lender scores. Credit.com is a good resource. Experian.com has that option as well, but I think you got to be on a paid subscription with Experian to be able to see the different lender scores. So you got your mortgage lender scores, the auto lender scores, and also they show you credit card lender scores as well. So that's credit.com, and it's called extra credit to see 28 different FICO scores. And you can see it for all three credit bureaus. All right, so of course you all know we got the three credit bureaus. We have Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, right? So Equifax ranges from 280 to 850, of course. Anything 760 and above is excellent. 725 and above is very good. 660 and above is good. 560 and above is fair. 280 above is poor. Now keep in mind each range is going to be different on each credit bureau. Like TransUnion, they start at 300. Excellent starts at 781. Good starts at 720. Fair is 658. Poor is 601. And then very poor is 300. If at any time I need to slow down at all, let me know and I will do that. If you want to take a screenshot of something, hold on 1 second. It's a fire truck going by. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But yeah, let me know if I need to slow down at any point or if you want to take a screenshot or anything like that. So the TransUnion Vantage Score model, this is what they use. So this is when I say FICO and Trans and Vantage Score uses a different model. They use different scoring systems. This is what I mean. So 40% of your Vantage Score is your payment history. 21% is the age and type of credit. 20% is the percentage of credit limit used. And we're not going to stay on this slide too long because it's the FICO that I want to focus on, but I'm just giving you guys these numbers just so you know if you are monitoring your Vantage Score. And then 11% is your total balances. 5% is your recent credit behavior. And then 3% is your available credit. Okay, so that's a good one to screenshot if you don't already know this. Okay. But I want to focus on the FICO. We're going to look at a graph for the FICO in a second. But your Experian, this is your main credit report because this is the one that most lenders check. Even like Navy Federal, right? Navy Federal, on a personal side, they check your TransUnion credit score. But then when you go to the business side, they check Experian. Most of the lenders that I've dealt with when it comes to business credit, and also personal credit, they check Experian. So it's good to know who checks what. But for the most part, most of the bureaus are going to check Experian. Now most of the lenders are going to check Experian. There are some lenders who's only going to check TransUnion. There's some lenders that's only going to check Equifax. But for the most part, they're all going to check Experian. So 800 and above is excellent. Very good is 740 and above. Good is 670 and above. Fair is 580 and above. And then poor is 300 to 579. Okay, so that's your ranges for Experian. So depending on where your score is, and you should already know where your credit score is right now. You should have already pulled up your credit report by now. And if not, definitely let that be something on your list to do tonight or tomorrow. All right, so this is what I want to talk about. I want to spend a couple minutes on this, okay? This is your Experian this is your FICO model, okay? So let's start with the smallest percentage first. So 10% of your FICO score, and the reason why it's so important to understand this is because once you know this, then you know how to make sure that your credit is on point. You know certain things that you need to tweak. And one of the reasons why I don't care about my score too much is because my score literally goes up and down. And because it goes up and down because I know how to kind of tweak it a little bit. And I know why my score goes down when it does. And I know when it's about to go back up. And it started with me understanding this graph right here. So 10% of your score is your credit mix, meaning you have a good mix of different types of loans, like installment loans and revolving loans. I'll tell you the difference between those in a few minutes. The next thing I want to mention is 10% new credit, right? So that is your inquiries. Whenever you get an inquiry on your credit report, that means that you are looking for new credit because otherwise you wouldn't be getting no inquiry. So that is 10% of your score. Now, every time you get an inquiry, your credit score may be impacted, but it depends on how healthy your credit is. If you have a really good credit report and you get an inquiry, your score may not even move at all. However, if your credit is not so good, or if you have a very thin profile and you get an inquiry, it may impact you a little bit more. You can see anywhere from a few points, right, to a few points per inquiry. So for an example, you go to a car dealership, right, and they run your credit with several different banks trying to get you that car loan, trying to get that car loan approved, right, and they done ran it through 4 or 5 different banks. Your score may drop like a few points per bank. Now, in some cases, which is the best case scenario, they'll treat it like one inquiry, but that's not always the case, because I've seen that floating around, that they'll treat it as one inquiry, but that's not always the case. The next thing, 15% is your credit history. How old is your credit? The longer you have open credit, the better your score will be. We'll talk about that in a minute. 30% is the amounts owed. Now, this is the amounts owed, aka utilization. This is how much of your available credit are you using, right? So we're going to look at an example of that in a minute. But out of the available credit that is made to you that you're approved for, how much of that are you actually using? That is 30% of your score. And then the biggest factor is payment history, of course. How often, whether you are paying sorry guys, I'm getting a little I'm a little tongue twisted a little bit. I actually just got off class from teaching as well, so I admit I'm a little tired. But your payment history, paying on time, that is 35% of your score. So once you understand these things and you really understand it, then this is the beginning of being able to know how to, like, tweak your score, how to do certain things, certain things to look out for, right? All right, so the first tip that I'm going to give you is to pay your bills on time. This might be self-explanatory for some people, because like you might say, I already know, pay my bills on time, that's important. The thing about it is, late payments stay on your credit for 7 years. So you might say, I want to fix my credit. You might decide next year, but then all this year you late, so going forward, try to make it a point not to pay your bills late. And I never want to tell anybody to be late on any bills, but if it ever got to a point, I know times get hard. If it ever got to a point that you had to choose between two bills to pay that bill that's going to affect your credit. Okay, pay that bill. If you had to, like I said, I would never advise to be late, but if you didn't have a choice, because I know what it's like to have to choose between two bills. I know what it's like to have to choose, am I going to pay this one on time, or am I going to pay this one on time? From a credit perspective, if it's going to affect your credit, let that be the one that you're on time with, because at least with like a light bill or the gas bill, you can get caught up and it's not going to affect your credit, of course, unless it goes into collections or something like that. Late payments will cause creditors to deny you, because why? They figure you a risk, because if you have late payments on your credit report, guess what? They know you're going to be late with them too. So they will, I mean, you probably can get approved with a late payment, but if you have consistent late payments, they will deny you. And you saw that it was 35% of your score. So one late payment can drastically affect your score. I will share this with you all, and then I'll move on. When COVID first hit, this was when we first closed down in March 2020. With so much going on, we always moving from moving from in person to online. I had a lot going on. I've never been late on my credit card. I had so much going on. I had fraud on my account, so I switched banks. Forgot to restart my auto pay for my credit card, and I was late. And my score dropped like, it was like dang it, I can't even remember the number now, but it's on my YouTube video. It was either 30 points or 7, or it was either 30 points or 50 points. I can't even remember the number now, but it was very significant. And now that late payment is on my credit, right? And I had never been late, but it drastically affected my score. And I'm going to tell y'all how I got that back up later. Like, that happened in April. It reported in May. I got that report in May. My score, I raised my score 100 more points by by July. So I'll tell y'all later how I did that. So it's ways you can come back from it. But yeah, just pay your bills on time. Another tip I got for you. Try to attempt to remove your late payments, right? Attempt to remove late payments. So I just said pay your bills on time, but let's just say you do have late payments, right? You already got some late payments on your report. So you like, look, Kendra, it's too late for that. I already got late payments on my report. I get it. So what you can do, first of all, don't dispute your late payments, okay? Because that can result in your account being closed. That's one of the mistakes. I should have put that as one of the myths, dispute late payments. But that's one of the mistakes that some people make. Um, you said drink some water. I got my water right here, Amber. Thank you. I got my water right here. I'm about to drink some. Um, that is, yeah, I've been talking a lot today, Amber. If you already have late payments, right? Try to get them removed. Okay. Don't dispute it. Don't, because what happens is sometimes people dispute it trying to get that late payment off and that account closes. They will close your account. So be careful with that. And then guess what? Suppose that was your oldest account. Now your credit done dropped because they deleted it because that account was helping your credit. Instead, write a goodwill letter. It is not a guarantee, but it works with some creditors. This is an example of a goodwill letter. I'll leave that there for a second so you can screenshot it. In the goodwill letter, you're pretty much acknowledging that you were late. And you can do this for all your late payments. And like I said, it's not a guarantee that it's going to work, but it's worth a try because it does help sometimes. My late payment that I had with my credit card, what was so messed up was that I've been with that bank for years. I paid off a car with that bank. I've had several personal loans with that bank, was never late on none of my payments on my loans or my car note, and they did not forgive me. I wrote them a goodwill letter and they didn't forgive it. But like I said, all is not guaranteed, but I do know people who wrote goodwill letters and that actually works. Like, so it is legit. Writing goodwill letters do work. It depends on your lender. My bank, that was so messed up. Only reason why I'm still with that bank because I still have that credit card and that's the oldest credit card I have and I don't want to lose it. And if I close my account, I'm gonna lose that credit card. But this is a goodwill letter. You acknowledging that you were late and you're pretty much asking them for forgiveness and you letting them know that you won't be late again. If they forgive you and they remove that late payment, you're going to see your score drastically change. The biggest thing I will tell y'all, and I did not do a slide for this, the biggest impact to your credit, really, for those of you who have negative stuff on your credit, is getting that negative stuff off. So everything that I'm telling you tonight is important, but the most important thing is going to be getting that negative stuff off. Once you have as much negative stuff off as you can, then that's when everything else that I'm giving you, you can just kind of implement and just make sure you kind of keep up with. Okay, so try to get them late payments off. Also, keep your debt utilization below 30%. Remember, I mentioned that 30% of your score is determined by how much credit you use, right? So even though they give you a certain line of credit, they don't want you to use all of it. And it sounds weird because they give you all this money, they give you all this credit, but they don't want you to use all of it. Why? Because you are looking risky when you're using all your credit because it looks like you are living off credit. It looks like you can't afford it. Okay. This is why your credit is negatively impacted when they give you $100 and you use 99 of it. Your credit score drops tremendously because that is 30% of your score. They don't want you using 30% of what they give you. Less than 10% is even better. So the best thing, the first thing you want to do when it comes to utilization, find out what day of the month your credit card. This is something, I hope y'all taking notes. This is something you can do tomorrow. Call your credit card company, find out what day of the month that they report, okay? But before that day, every month, you want to make sure your credit card is under 30%, really under 10%. I'm going to give you an example on this next slide. Let's just say your credit card balance is $500, right? And I should have said limit, not balance. So that's a mistake there. It should say your credit card limit, not balance, is $500. Your credit card company reports every month on the 27th. Before the 27th, you need to make sure that your balance is $150 or below. Guess what? Because that $150 is 30% of 500. They don't want to see you using more than that. So I don't care if you used $499 before the 27th, you got to pay it down. Now, this is some free game right here because honestly, this is what keeps my credit score high. This is what rose my credit. When I hear people say that their credit is low because they maxed out their cards or because their balances are high, I love that. I love that because that is an easy fix. When your utilization is high, it's only a matter of you lowering your utilization by paying your credit cards down, paying your line of credit down, right? And then not try, just be mindful about, just don't use it again. Pay it down, get it below the 30%, right? And when I say 30%, I mean across all of your credit lines. So example two, let's say you have multiple credit cards and or you have a line of credit. Across all your credit cards, across your credit cards and your line of credit, you have a credit line of $20,000 and they report on the 27th of each month. By the 27th of each month, it needs to be less than 6,000. I don't care if you use 19,000, you need to pay it down to 6,000. Now, everybody might not be able to do that, but as you're paying on it, you'll see your credit score rising. I guarantee you, anybody that's on here, I can promise you, if your score is low because you've maxed out your limits or because your balances are high, I guarantee you, as soon as you start paying it down, you're going to see your score jumping. Like I'm telling you, your score is going to go up so quick. I can promise. That's one thing I can promise you. I don't promise too many things, but that's one thing I can promise you because it's 30% of your score. So I love when somebody tell me that their credit is low because of utilization, because it's an easy fix. Now, if your credit is low because of late payments or collections and stuff, now that's a different story. Now that's a situation where you're going to have to try to, get those late payments off. If they don't accept that late payment coming off, then you just got to wait for it to drop off in 7 years. Same thing. And we'll talk about collections in a moment. So let me know if y'all got that. Oh, France said you right. Yeah, France said you right. So France, you must have seen from experience too. As you pay it down, your credit will go up. All right. Another thing, don't close your old credit card accounts. So some people, they figure, oh, I'm not using this card. Sorry guys. They figure I'm not using this card. Let me close it. Big mistake, especially if you had it for a long time. Remember, I told you 15% of your score is your credit age. Do not close it off. Okay. The only time I would say close it is if you're paying an annual fee that you can't afford anymore. Some credit cards have an annual fee. Some fees may be $99. Some as high as $400 to $600 when you get into like them like American Express and stuff like that. They got some high fees. So if you have a credit card that has a high annual fee and you need to pay and you need to close it, I understand that. But other than that, keep it open. If you got to get rid of that card so you won't be tempted to use it, fine. Or you can keep it and use it for very small purchases that you can pay off every single month. Okay. Do not close your credit card accounts unless you have to. Hey, Quiandra, thank you. Tip number 5, get rid of negative items. I mentioned the late payments. You want to try to get rid of your late payments, right? With the goodwill letter, hopefully it works. Maybe it won't. Collections. Now, if you have collections on your credit report, those weigh heavy, right? So you want to dispute any of the accounts that are inaccurate, because one thing I will tell you, some years ago, I had some late collections from like years and years ago. I was like, I sent letters and I did it online and they took it off. So if you already paid it or it's inaccurate, dispute it. If you have collection accounts that you know you owe and you like, okay, I can pay this, let me go ahead and pay it. Before you pay it, get something in writing from them that they're going to remove it from your report once you pay it. Because if you pay it, they won't remove it. So you want to make sure that you get something in writing guaranteeing you that they're going to remove it once you pay it. Now, for this process, getting rid of collections and charge-offs and stuff like that, many people consider working with credit professionals for this process. So if that's something that you can afford to do, if that's something because this is something that can be done on your own, there's ways that you can write letters and stuff like that. But if you're somebody who would rather pay for the convenience of having somebody do it for you, then, definitely you could seek out a credit professional for that. I'm not one of them for this process. All right, so this is another one too. So remove hard inquiry. So I mentioned going to the dealership earlier, right? I mentioned how you go to the dealership, you're trying to get a car loan. They shop your credit around to several different banks to try to get you approved. Now you got all these hard inquiries, right? And now your credit score done drop. This is a way that you can remove hard inquiries. So you can screenshot this or write it down. You want to print your credit report, right? Now remember I told you all at the beginning some sites where you can print off your credit score, your credit report. Annualcreditreport.com is a really good resource. That's the one you want to print out and send, because that's the one that's most detailed. Annualcreditreport.com. If you've ever printed off, and Amber know how much stuff is on it, because I literally just printed mine out, and I won't even get into that, but it was crazy. It was so much stuff on that I had to dispute. But Amber, no, we was literally just talking about it. But it's so much information. So print out your report, and remember, you get it free every single week right now during COVID. So you want to print it. Anything you want to dispute, put an asterisk beside it, right? All your hard inquiries that didn't result in an open account, do not dispute accounts that you got approved for. I'm gonna repeat that. Do not dispute accounts that you got approved for. So if you just got a Capital One card and you trying to get rid of that inquiry, don't dispute that inquiry, because why? They might close your account. I mentioned don't dispute every single thing, especially when it's accurate. And then you got the open account, because you go dispute Capital One with Experian. Experian can see the Capital One credit card account on your credit report. Do not dispute items that you got approved for, okay? The ones that you got denied for, dispute those. Write the letter asking those items to be removed, along with any inaccurate accounts on there that shouldn't be on there. Addresses, names. I don't care if it's one letter wrong on your name. Dispute that. I don't care if it's an old address and if the address is correct, but your apartment number is missing. Dispute it, okay? Because it's inaccurate. And then you can include a copy of your ID and maybe your utility or a bank statement. It just shows that it's a proof of a address, and it also shows that this letter is coming from you. Because sometimes the credit bureaus, they so used to these credit repair specialists sending templates. Make sure they can see that the letter is actually from you. That's why I'm not recommending no template, because guess what? They get the same letter. I see so many people, I got a template for you. And no shade against them, because everybody has their business and, ways they make money. However, I know someone who worked for TransUnion. I don't know her personally, but she's like one of my credit mentors that I learned a lot from YouTube. She used to work for TransUnion. They get these letters and everything looks the same. So don't fall for the template. Like even the one that I showed you earlier, just kind of make it your own, make it personal. Send a letter via certified mail, so that way you get your return receipt, right? And then you also want to consider freezing LexisNexis and SageStream. Now, I mentioned the 3 credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, but LexisNexis and SageStream, which actually kind of merged, they actually just merged recently. You want to opt out of them, and it's easy. You could just Google opt out of LexisNexis and SageStream, but you also want to consider opting out of that as well, because they are other credit bureaus, and so you want to kind of opt out and freeze those too, so that way you can get those inquiries removed without having to, because they do something with those bureaus where they verify something like that. So you want to opt out of those. Now, and I put it's optional, because I know people who have gotten inquiries removed without doing that part. But I do see a lot of people, even people, the lady that works for TransUnion, she even recommends opting out of LexisNexis and Sage. So no harm in doing it. You can always opt back in. Let me look at these comments for a second. A letter example. Amber, I gave you a letter example. Oh, you said for the negative items off. Oh, I can find one for you. I hope you screenshotted the Goodwill letter. But Amber, to be honest, because of the wording of the templates and they so used to getting them, I would look up one and just reword it and make it your own. Amber talking about we need your letters. Johnny said most people don't like doing the footwork. Yeah, that's true. Some people, you either going to pay in money or you're going to pay in time. If you know you don't have the time, but you got the money, you can pay somebody to do it for you. Or if you got the time, me personally, I've had the time, so I've just done a lot of things on my own. You can look. I can send you a link, Amber, but you literally just Google opt out of LexisNexis and Sage Stream, and it takes you to the link. It will literally take you to the opt out link. You could do it right online. You got to verify your information and you can opt out. It'll just say, are you sure? You know, it'll do like the verification questions, like your former address and stuff like that. And then you can opt out. But you literally just literally Google opt out of LexisNexis and Sage Stream, and it'll take you to it. I literally did. That's exactly how I did it. Ashanti said, I just put a freeze on my credit. Oh yeah, Ashanti, we're going to talk about that too, freezing your credit. All right, tip number 7, stop applying for new credit. Stop going to these stores and letting them, when you checking out to get a discount, they're like, oh, you're going to get 20% off if you apply for this credit card. Stop applying for credit, especially if you're at a place where you're trying to fix your credit. I told y'all, inquiries are 10% of your score when you're shopping around for new credit. And then it's going to stay on your report for 2 years. And you look like a risk when you got all these inquiries on your report. Stop shopping for new credit. Only get credit when you really need it. Like when you're trying to get a new car, right? You're going to get a mortgage, you're trying to buy a house, or you need to add to your credit mix. Credit mix, remember we said that was 10% of your score, right? Now, what's the excellent mix of credit? What does it mean to have a good or excellent mix of credit? That means you have a good combination of installment loans and revolving loans. What are revolving loans? Revolving loans are your credit cards and your lines of credit. Those are loans in which the payment amount changes every month because it depends on how much you use, right? So your payment amount depends on how much of that available credit that you've used. And with revolving loans, once you pay off your balance, you can use it again. It's available to you again. Installment loans, some examples of those are your car loans, personal loans, and mortgage loans. That means that your payment is fixed, right? Or I didn't even mention student loans as well. Those are installment loans. And then once it's paid off, the account closes, okay? You got a fixed payment. And then once you pay it off, you're done. Excellent credit mix is having a combination of both types of loans. If you look on your credit report at one of those sites I gave you and you click on the option that shows what are ways I can improve my credit, it's going to tell you need a better credit mix. Some of you all may have an excellent credit mix. You probably got some installment loans, car loans, personal loans, mortgage loans, revolving loans. You got credit cards or a line of credit. So it's good to have a good mix of credit. That's why I said don't be shopping around for new credit unless you need it. If you're in a place right now where you don't have a lot of inquiries on your credit report and you in a good place where you like, okay, I want to add to my credit mix. I need a credit card now. Or I want to go ahead and get a personal loan to add to my credit mix. That's fine. That is perfectly fine. Questions. These next couple of slides are some questions I get a lot. Janice said, but I feel like you learn for yourself when you do the work. People can't tell you anything. Yeah, that's true, Janice. That is so true. From doing this stuff on my own, that's how I've learned a lot from doing it on my own. You are absolutely right. Why did my credit score drop after paying off the debt? This is a big one. So I remember my cousin paid off her car loan and her score dropped like 30 something points. And she called me like, well, I thought my credit was going to go up when I paid off my car loan. The thing about it is, you probably lost some credit age, right? So let's just say you pay your car loan off and that car loan was one of the oldest accounts you had. You lost some credit age, which is 15% of your score. So that's why your credit score dropped, right? Another thing that might have happened is that you might have lost some credit mix, right? That car note may have been your only installment loan. Now you only got revolving loans. So now your credit score dropped because now you don't have a credit mix anymore. All you got are revolving loans. It will have more effect on a person who has bad credit or who has a thin credit profile, meaning it's not a lot of things. The good thing is that that's a good drop. Why? Because that means you paid off your debt. And it's going to go back up eventually. When I paid my car loan off years ago, my score dropped by like 18 points. But I got them 18 right back. And it dropped because my credit mix dropped and some of my credit age. And so it happens. So just expect it when you're paying off these debts, expect for your score to drop. Now, if it don't drop, that's great, but just kind of expect it. So that way, if it doesn't drop, it's a pleasant surprise. Quiandra said, great information. I'm learning a lot. Excellent. Thank you, Quiandra. That's what I was hoping for. Another question I get, what happens when I get new credit? So when you get new credit, let's say you go get a new credit card or you get a new personal loan or whatever, you might lose some points, okay, because of inquiry. Remember I mentioned you may lose some points. You may not, depending on how healthy your credit profile is. And then you may lose some credit age. Now, your credit age is determined by how long you've had your credit. So let's say you had let's say you have a 10-year-old credit card and then you have a 5-year-old credit card. What they do is they add those two together. So that's 15 divided by 2. You have 7.5 years of credit, right? So every time you pay something off, your credit age drops. And every time you add new credit, now that credit age is less than a year. So now your credit age has shortened. So that's one reason why you may lose some points. However, you may gain some points. How? Because if you added a new credit card, now you have more debt available to you, and that makes your utilization go down. So let's just say you had a $10,000 credit card already, right? And you were at 50%. Your utilization is 50%. That's considered bad. But then you get another credit card for like 5,000. So now you got 15,000 available to you. So now that 5,000 that you use is no longer at 50%. I don't know how much percent 5,000 is of 15,000, but you get what I'm saying. It has less effect because now they're looking at your utilization of, you use 5,000 out of 15,000 as opposed to using 5,000 out of 10,000. So I hope that makes sense, right? You also may gain points due to adding to your credit mix. So if you add it to your credit mix, meaning maybe you only have revolving loans and then you got an installment loan, that may help you gain some points as well. Hey, Adam, he said, I came in late. I would like to get a full credit report from all 3 agencies. Where should I request those? That's what you get for being late, Adam. I shouldn't even tell you nothing for the shade that you threw me on that other live we was on. But I got you. I'll go back to it because I'll go back to the slide so you can screenshot it. But I gave a few different websites so you can get all 3 of them. But I could just tell you, free annual credit report is the best place to get your report. It just doesn't show you a score. But I'll show you the other websites to actually get your scores. Okay, water break. Let me drink some water. Let me know if y'all have any questions. I'm just giving y'all a nice, handsome picture while I'm drinking my water. Because I'm thirsty. I've been talking today and y'all got me talking now. Let me know if y'all have any questions. Oh, no, y'all have any questions. Water break. I see y'all loving it. Don't be loving this picture. Oh, I'm late. How do I get? Oh, yeah, I'm getting ready to get to that in a minute. I'm getting ready to get to that. I just this must be for Adam, and this is for everybody. I'm just taking a water break. I just wanted to give y'all something nice to look at. I did just read your question. This is for everybody. I'm getting ready to stop up. I'm just drinking some water for a second. I need to rest my voice. I just wanted to give y'all some inspiration for a second. Some handsome inspiration. Yeah, she said about that. Yeah, I know. All righty. I'm going to get to the business in a minute. All right, so if you are building, this is some tips for people who are building or rebuilding from scratch, right? So let's just say, like one of my cousins I was talking to, I think it was about a year or so ago, she was trying to build from scratch, right? Which is a good place to start. They say, having no credit is worse than having bad credit, which I disagree. It's only the same in the sense that you won't get approved for much. However, when you're building from scratch, you have a clean slate, so it is not the same. It is easier to build from scratch than it is to rebuild. But anyway, if you have to build a rebuild, the first thing, one of the things you want to consider doing is getting a secure card with your bank, right? The secure card um, is um, is when they're not giving you the money, they're using your money. So you have to make a deposit. So let's just say you want your limit to be $300. So you're using $300 of your own money, and then you're paying it on time. You're using just staying below that 10% utilization, as I mentioned earlier. So that's a secure credit card. So that's one of the things you want to do if you're building from scratch or you're rebuilding after having some really bad credit, right? And for anybody that has a lot of negative information on their credit report, you're going to be rebuilding from scratch once you get that stuff off of there, right? All right. And then another thing you want to do is apply for a personal loan with your bank. Again, it's for people that's building from scratch. Some banks have beginner loans for people with little to no credit. The credit union I was with, they had what was called a fresh start loan. The thing about these beginner loans, though, you got to be careful and pay attention to the terms, because my beginner loan, my fresh start loan was only $300, and I couldn't pay it off early because you have to have it over 6 months. So if you do get a small personal loan with your bank, make sure you find out the terms, because if they have a prepayment penalty, meaning you will be charged if you pay it off, or you can't pay it off early at all, you're going to have to pay that interest over 6 months. So keep that in mind. I know Navy Federal, if anybody that's with Navy Federal, they have what's called a pledge loan, which is a secure personal loan. Again, you're using your own money. One of the Navy Federal, because I'm in a bunch, I'm in credit groups, Navy Federal groups and stuff like that. One of the things that they talk about in the Navy Federal group is people that they have the pledge loan. What they do is they do something small, like $200, and then they pay off, let's just say up to $150, and then the rest of the $50, they just pay that every single month until the term is over. See if you could be added as an authorized user by a trusted family member or friend to have good credit. So if you got a friend or auntie or grandma or whoever and their credit is good, see if you could be added as an authorized user. That doesn't mean you have to get a credit card. That just means that you inherit their good credit. So as they're using a credit card, you get credit for it. It shows up on your credit report, and bam, you got a revolving account on your credit report. So find out if you could be added. Let them know your credit will not affect your bad credit will not affect them if they add you. They're just helping you out. Another thing, while I'm talking about this authorized users, for those of you who have kids, I suggest you to add your kids as an authorized user. My daughter is an authorized user on my credit cards, and when she turns 18, she is going to have some bomb credit. Tracy, I think Tracy on here now. Tracy added her youngest son. What, Tracy? When did you add him, Tracy? Like a year or two ago. His credit is almost 800, and that was just from her adding him as an authorized user. So just imagine how well we could set our kids up by putting them as authorized users now. Like my daughter, she's 16 now. I added her when she was 14. By the time she's 18, she's going to already have 4 years of credit history. So again, everybody that's on here, if you have kids and you're responsible with your credit cards, don't add them if you maxed out. Don't make their credit bad. Add them if you're being responsible, so that way they can inherit your good credit. And by the time they 18, they have their high credit score, right? Okay, by the time they graduate, yep, they will have college. Exactly. Ashanti says she put her 16-year-olds on her credit card. Exactly. She said she's gonna give them the card. And Ashanti, that's funny you say that, because my daughter, I thought about that too, but kind of teaching her how to use it, because I do have one for her, but I never gave it to her. Because they do send you a card. If you do add your kids as an authorized user, they do send you a card for that person, but you just, get rid of it or whatever. You don't have to give it to them. Amber said, okay, Tracy said over a year. Yeah, and his credit score is literally like, what was it, like 780, 790, Tracy, something like that, like literally like almost 800. Just from her adding him as authorized user. Amber said she added her daughter too. Exactly. Okay, good. Oh, she said it was last December. Okay. So get as an authorized user, and then also consider using Experian Boost. So Experian Boost, y'all, you can add your bills and your utilities and your rent to Experian Boost. So that might be something you want to do. If you don't have any credit at all, no credit accounts, consider using that. If you sign up at Experian.com, They're going to be hounding you about it anyway, sending you emails and notifications about it. So consider using that. I don't use it. Only reason why I don't use it, because I told you I have OCD when it comes to my credit report. I check it literally every day. I don't want inquiries on. I don't want certain. So I haven't done it yet. But if I need to, if I ever get to a point where my credit is not great anymore for whatever reason, then I'll use it. But right now I don't. Nika, that's my cousin Nika Antoinette. She said I did that today and it really works. Yeah, Nika, I heard people do it. And it instantly boosts their credit score. Like soon as they add their bills, I heard their credit score go up right then and there. Amber said it's irritating. Okay. Now these are some things to look for on a credit card, right? So if you that type of person where you never had a credit card before, or maybe you do have a credit card, you only have one, you want to get another one, you don't know what to look for. Because I literally had a friend ask me, what do I look for in a credit card? These are the things that I will not look. I won't even look at a credit card if they don't have these things. I won't even look twice. I don't care who it is, American Express or whoever. If they don't have $0 annual fee, I'm not doing it. So look for a card that has $0 annual fee. Look for a card that have a 0% introductory APR, introductory APR. That means that you don't pay no interest until the term is over. It could be anywhere from 6 to 18 months. So that means whatever you borrow, that's all you paying back, right? So if you spend $1,000, you're only paying back $1,000. You're not paying back no interest. Don't look at no credit card if they don't have this offer. Another offer you want to look for is balance transfer, 0% on balance transfers. That means if you want to transfer balances between credit cards, it's 0%. Same thing. It could be anywhere from 6 to 18 months. You also want to look for a card that got cash back or travel rewards, because guess what? Every time you use your card, you get points. And so you can use it. I use my cash back to pay off my credit statement. I've never cashed out my cash back. The most cash back I ever got was like $150 on my credit card statement, and I paid off my credit with that. So that's a good thing too. You could cash it out, or you could use it to pay your credit balance. Also, travel rewards. So look for cards, whichever one is better, is more important to you. Some cards only have cash back, some have both, some only have travel. So just figure out what works for you, and look for a decent interest rate. Even though your interest rate won't matter as much if you're paying off your card every month, but it still matters. Look for a decent interest rate. So these are the things you want to have in a credit card for anybody who doesn't have one, or maybe you have one, but you just don't know what to look for. You want another one and you don't know where to start. Look for these things. So using credit, I'm gonna speed this up a little bit more. I just have a few more slides, but using credit to help your score. These are ways you could use it to help your score. Stay below 30%, as I mentioned before. It's better to be below 10%. Okay. Pay off a balance each month on one of your cards. I say you have multiple credit cards. I do. I have multiple credit cards. One of my cards, I just use it on a small purchase every month, and I pay it off every single month. It's like $15. And I pay it right off every month. So consider that, because it looks good too. If you're paying off your whole balance, you will literally get emails. I don't care if that balance is $5. You'll get an email from your credit bureau, and it'll say, congratulations from paying off a balance. You paid off your balance, and it helps your credit, but it's probably was just $5 or $10. It doesn't matter. It just still looks good that you're paying off a balance. Another thing too that people make the mistake of, they pay their credit off too soon. They use the $20 today and they pay it off tomorrow. If you want the bureaus to see you being responsible with your credit card, give it a chance to report. Wait for them to send you your bill. Don't pay it off too soon. Don't spend $20 today and pay it off tomorrow. Spend the $20 or whatever, let it report, and then pay it off. Okay. And you'll know it reports. Once you get your statement, you know it reported. Okay. Let it report and then pay it off. Because if you keep paying that little $20 off and it don't look like you're using that card, it just looks like you're inactive, and it doesn't do anything for your credit. And I understand that, because I used to do that too. Before applying for new credit, one of the things you can do, find out which credit bureau they're going to pull from. Y'all, this is something I just started doing. I want to know which credit bureau you pulling from. Are you pulling from Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion? Find out. That way, you know, okay, they're gonna pull from my TransUnion. Let me go look at my TransUnion, make sure my TransUnion is on point. And then you know, okay, I'm gonna have a inquiry on my TransUnion. Till this day, I have no inquiries on my TransUnion. I got inquiries on my Equifax and my Experian, but none on my TransUnion. But guess what? Navy Federal, they have a credit card that checks TransUnion. So I'm about to pull a trigger on that Navy Federal credit card and apply for it. So now I know they check TransUnion. So now I know, okay, my TransUnion is on point. I don't have no inquiries. Now, after all these years of not having an inquiry on my TransUnion, now I'm about to have one. But because I asked, at least I know that, and at least I'm prepared. And you can do the same. All right, iPhone users, this is a hack for you. I'm sorry for you Androids right now. This is no shade, but this is for my iPhone users. It really works. I have an Apple credit card. Apple credit card, they check TransUnion, but guess what? I just told y'all I don't have any inquiries on my TransUnion report, right? I have no inquiries. Why? Because there's a hack to get approved for an Apple card with no hard inquiry. Take a screenshot of this. It works. I'm telling you, they have a Goldman Sachs MasterCard. I love it. There's no annual fee. And every time you use it, you get cash back right then and there. Most credit cards, the cash back doesn't come until the end of the statement period. But with the Apple card, you literally get it back every single day. And you get a physical card, and then you get a card in your wallet. So these are the steps you want to take for anybody who have an iPhone. You want to go to your wallet and look for the offer. If you don't already have it, that you want to offer. I'm not shading Amber. If you don't already have the Apple card, you're going to see an offer for the Apple card, right? Entering all your information, your name, address, date of birth, last four your social, everything is asking for. Once you do all of that, it's going to ask you, do you agree to the terms? Agree to the terms, right? And wait for your offer. They might deny you, depending on how your TransUnion report looking. They might deny you, right? If they deny you, then that's just it. It's over. However, if they approve you, they'll show you how much they approve you for, right? If you are approved, do not accept the offer yet. Exit out of the app, back out of the app, and then you want to go freeze your TransUnion report. I'm going to tell y'all how to do that in a second. And then once you get the confirmation email from TransUnion that the freeze is in effect, go back to your wallet and then accept the offer. Now you got an Apple credit card. And y'all, when I tell y'all that card is so pretty, Kelly, give me my wallet. I was about to say give me my wallet. My card, I keep my cards somewhere else when I'm not using, because I don't use that every day. But the card is so pretty, y'all. It, like I said, it comes on your wallet and it's a titanium card. That is the prettiest credit card I ever seen. Thank you, Apple. Ashanti says she's about to apply. Perfect. Yeah. So Ashanti, definitely follow these steps. Just make sure, y'all, do not make the mistake of accepting the offer. Get the offer, accept the terms and conditions, get the offer, let them offer it to you, and then go out of the app, freeze your TransUnion, wait for the confirmation that is frozen, and then go back to the wallet and hit accept. Okay. And then you can keep your TransUnion report frozen after that. Don't unfreeze it. They might go back and try to get your inquiry later. So keep it frozen. I would keep it frozen anyway. All right. So my final tip on the personal credit side is to freeze and lock your credit reports. You don't have to do this, but I recommend it. I mean, this is the way you want to go freeze your TransUnion report. Like Ashanti says, she's going to apply. Ashanti, this is how you go freeze your TransUnion. And really, so these are the links here, ladies and gentlemen. But you really can just Google and it'll take you right to it. You can Google freeze TransUnion. Also, TransUnion has an app, so you can go to the app store and go to My TransUnion and do it that way. But you can literally go freeze TransUnion, freeze Equifax, freeze Experian. It's all free. We have the right to view our credit reports and we have the right to freeze them. Anytime you want to unfreeze it, all you do, you go back to that same website and unfreeze it. I recommend this because it prevents hard inquiries on your credit report. Nobody can steal your credit report. And it also protects you from impulsively applying for stuff, right? Y'all heard an impulse buyer. Some of y'all are impulse appliers where y'all be applying for stuff. You be in the store, as soon as they offer you that 30% off, you want to apply for the car. When you're in Victoria's Secret, Macy's, or whoever, you're applying for the car. But guess what? If it's frozen, you can't be impulsive like that. So that's one other reason why I recommend freezing it. And also, if you plan on building business credit, I recommend you to freeze your credit report. And I recommend you to have it frozen anyway until you need it. So for those of you that's looking at this tonight, take a screenshot of those links, freeze your reports, don't unfreeze it until you need it, okay? Until you need to use it. So this brings us to Business Credit 101. Now, this is what some of y'all been waiting for, the business credit. Y'all waiting for me to tell y'all how we can start building this business credit. I got you. Yes, Amber said mine's still frozen. I got y'all. Listen. So, business credit. I gave y'all the 3 personal credit bureaus, right? It's 3 business credit bureaus too. And they have other ones too, but these are the main ones. You got Equifax Business, Dun & Bradstreet, which gives you your Paydex credit score. And then you got Experian Business. Those are the business credit bureaus, right? Those are the business credit bureaus. Okay, Equifax, Dun & Bradstreet, and Experian Business. What are some benefits of building business credit? First of all, it's so easy to build, y'all. When I tell you it's so easy, like I started building a year ago, and I literally have like 8,000, I say 8,000, like 80,000 in business credit. Not $80,000. I have 80,000 in business credit to date. From I started building a year ago, and I wasn't even building like actively. Like I literally started building a year ago, and the 3 business accounts I had, I was just using them. And then back in December, I just started getting back into building and stuff, and I have like 80,000 in business credit now. It's separate from your personal credit. So it has nothing to do with you. Your business credit has nothing to do with you. And they don't have as many stipulations with business credit. So remember how I told you all how having too many inquiries affect your report and it's 10% of your credit score on the personal side? With business, you can apply for 20 accounts in one night and they don't care. You could leverage it as capital for your business. So if you get like business credit cards, you could use that to buy stuff for your business. You could, get business lines of credit, business loans and stuff like that for your business to grow your business. And you get higher limits. So, for example, like Navy Federal, I mentioned them earlier. You might can get a $25,000 credit card with them, but on the business side, they may give you 50,000, right? Or 80,000. On the business side, it's higher credit limits. Now, these are some of the things you need to start. You can screenshot this. Before they will even look twice at you, these are some of the things you have to have in place. All right. You need to be an established business. You could be a sole proprietor. That's fine. But make sure you have that EIN number, a LLC or corporation. And so when I do this, when I do my business credit workshop next Saturday, I'm gonna actually walk people through how to establish their business and get their EIN and all of that. And I'm gonna talk about the differences between the sole proprietor, LLC, and corporation. And disclaimer, I'm not an accountant, but y'all know I done spent hundreds, actually by now thousands of dollars on classes and stuff. And just from my experience of doing this stuff myself. But I'm going to be teaching y'all the differences between them and helping you decide which one you want to do. You need an online presence. So you need a website. You need social media pages, at least one. You don't have to have Facebook, Instagram, and all of them, but at least a Facebook page or Instagram page. You have to have this because why? Business creditors, they're going to verify your business. They need to see that you're a legit business. That's why you got to have an established business. You can't be up under your name thinking you're about to get business credit. You have to have an EIN. Your EIN is your social security number for your business. All right. You need a Dun & Bradstreet number. So the EIN is not the only thing you need. You need to go to Dun & Bradstreet. It's free to get it. Get your Dun & Bradstreet number, and you need a business bank account. I'm not talking about a business bank account, a bank account that's under your name that you conduct business through. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an actual business bank account that's under your business name only. Okay, not your personal, but under your business bank account, under your business name only. Without those things, without these starting things, so I'm giving y'all like the foundational stuff that you can start working on now. And then if you want to go into deeper with me, you can come to my business workshop next Saturday. I already got a few people that signed up. So you can come, and I'm gonna go more in deep with this, and I'm gonna help people figure out how to which one they want to do. I'm gonna offer some business bank accounts and stuff like that. Let me show y'all some of my business credit that I have. Now, mind you, this is just the cards that I have. This is not including the the accounts that I have that does not have cards. So these two right here, the top two, these are credit cards, revolving credit cards. So revolving credit cards, that means that, you know, when you, just like the credit cards you all have, you know, you could pay it off monthly, right? Charge cards are cards where you have to pay it right back. Whatever you use, you got to pay that amount the next month. Okay. So these are my business credit cards right here. I got a gas card, 2 gas cards, and then I got a Lowe's card, Home Depot, Floor and Decor. Don't ask me what I'm gonna do with a Floor and Decor card, y'all. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but they approved me, so I took it. And then Divvy is one of those accounts that's easy to get. Okay. But these are some of my business. And notice all of these have my business name on here, right? This is all strictly under my business. My name is on there because you got to have, as the owner, a lot of times you have that some creditors, they still make you have a person of contact. So my name is on there, but these are strictly under my business, not me at all. This is business credit. And then look at my car. Y'all saw my post the other day. My car is strictly under my business. This is what I've been able to do in a year, like literally, and not even, if I was really, really going hard with it, I would have been able to do more than this, but I was so passive. I had so much going on in 2021. I was so passive with it. So this is what I have. And so one of the things that I've been talking to people about is helping them build business. So this is my business credit workshop that I created, that I'm going to do next Saturday. Y'all can look at this and see everything that I'm going to give y'all doing that. But when I tell y'all I'm working on it now, and I'm putting so much information in it, and I spent money on classes. I've been learning this, like I said, for a year. I'm in countless videos, classes, and all that stuff. What took me all that time, and it's only $20. Like the class is going to be $20. It's $19.99. Matter of fact, let me put the link in the comments. I forgot to do that. Let me put the link in the comments. It's $19.99, and let me put it in the comments. And these business credit classes cost, I'm not gonna lie, I've spent money on the information I'm giving y'all, because I'm giving y'all some accounting information too. I'm telling y'all how to hire your kids, teaching you how to form your business and stuff like that. I'm giving a lot of information. So basic how to establish your business, how to hire your kids, setting up your vendor accounts. So vendor accounts are accounts that I mentioned that were not pictured there, because you don't get cards with those accounts, but you can go in there and order. How to build business credit without your personal credit, how to build it with your personal credit. So there's a couple different ways. You can use your personal credit and do it the quick way, or you could do it the slow way, which I was doing last year without using your personal credit, right? Or you could get store cards. I'm gonna teach you how to get store cards under your business. So like you saw the Home Depot, and then the Lowe's and the Floor and Decor. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing with Floor and Decor. And then I'm gonna teach you how to get business funded, and also getting a car under your business name. Teach you how to write it off and all that stuff. So it's a lot of stuff I'm giving in the class. Like I said, it's $19.99. The link is in the description. If you cannot be live Saturday, don't worry. I will email you the replay. So if you want to just buy the class, and like I said, I'm giving you a whole lot of stuff in the class. It's a whole lot of stuff. Yes, Ashanti is going to be recorded. So whoever don't $250, that's about right, Amber. One of the classes that I took was $197. So those classes cost. So I said I could do it for $20, because it's like I said, it's been a year for me, and I'm still learning things, but I'm giving a lot of information. And I just want to help people. So it's $19.99. It's in the link, like I said. It's in the description. Let me know if anybody has any questions or anything. Thank y'all. Make sure y'all follow me, Thinking Like a Virtuous Woman, on YouTube, and Instagram and stuff if you're not already, and also on Facebook. But thank y'all for coming on here tonight. And let me know if you have any questions. Hey Henry. Let me know if you have any questions at all. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this and come back on the screen. Thank y'all so much for hanging in here. How long I've been on here? I've been on here an hour. I didn't even plan on being on here this long. But the business credit workshop is going to be about an hour. It's going to be like 60 to 90 minutes. So everything that took me like a year to learn, I'm going to teach y'all in like 60 to 90 minutes for $20. Henry said he going to catch the replay. Okay, that's fine, Henry. Who's still on here with me? Let me know who's still watching. Amber said too long. What's too long? Oh, Aunt Janice, you was on here. I didn't know you was on here, Aunt Janice. Hey, Aunt Janice. Thank you for watching, Aunt Janice. I didn't know you was on here. Oh, your question. Oh, AB. Okay, let me go back to that slide. Let me show the slide to AB. What's too long, Amber? Oh, are you trying to say I was on here for too long? I think I was on here for too long. Let me go back to that slide so I can show Adam. I shouldn't even show him nothing. Y'all should have seen the shade he was throwing me earlier. Let me go back and then I'm gonna share it. I didn't realize I had this many slides. Adam, you really stuck around. Okay, can you see it, Adam? My light is ready to fall. Go ahead and screenshot that, Adam. So it was these right here. And then on the next slide, it was credit.com. For if you want to see more. Annual credit report is the one that's going to give you the best. So I definitely recommend them. They give you a free one every single week. It used to be once a year, but since COVID, they've been giving one every single week. And then the other ones are good too. My FICO, you got to pay for that one. And then the other one I gave was credit.com. So I hope you screenshotted that, Adam. Tracy said she wasn't able to see, so she could take a lot of notes. Oh. Give my baby a kiss for me, Tracy. Ashanti said she loved Credit Talk. Me too. Adam, I hope you got it because I'm getting ready to stop sharing so I can talk to Ashanti. Ashanti, I love Credit Talk as well. Like I love Credit Talk, Financial Talk, and all of that. One thing I don't do enough of is promoting my book, Thinking Like a Virtuous Woman Financially. 3 money lessons we can learn from Proverbs 31. I do not promote this enough, but it's called Thinking Like a Virtuous Woman Financially. I be forgetting to promote my book. But I talk about credit. I'm going to do a read because I need to add some of this in there. Some of the stuff I talked about tonight. But this is my book. It's on Amazon. I did this cover myself, by the way. Tracy says she loved Credit Talk too. I love it too. And I hope y'all come to my business credit class. This is the first time I'm doing like a paid class, like a class like this. I teach anyway. I teach adults. I teach medical office. So I'm a teacher already. So I'm already talking a lot every day. So it's normal for me. But this will be my first time doing like a live paid class like that. So I appreciate people that already signed up and trusted me with their time and trusting my information. I definitely appreciate that. Amber, I know you'll be there. And if anybody can't come live, Adam, make sure you sign up for my business credit workshop too. So you that's the way you can make up for how you treated me today. You can sign up for my business credit workshop. So yeah, thank y'all for being on here. I'm gonna get ready to get off here. Oh, he said he's gonna sign up. The link is right there in the comments. I'm gonna drop it again. If anybody wants to this is for the business credit workshop. I also, if anybody would like me to look over their credit with them, I have another. Let me see. Let me put that in the comments too. This is something I just kind of decided to do last minute. just on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I don't have a lot to go over with my students. Are y'all seeing my comments that I'm posting? Are y'all able to see them? The link? Because for some reason I don't see it coming up. Let me know if y'all able to see my link. I'm gonna post it from here too. Where is it? Just in case y'all can't see it. Okay, there we go. On Janice. On Janice, I can call you to tell you how you can do that. That's through UDC. I teach through UDC, and for DC residents, it's free. So that's an easy one right there. Ashanti says she's going to get business credit. I don't have a business yet, but I'm going to get one. Yes, Ashanti. So in the class, I'm going to talk about how to establish one. That's even better. So for anybody who don't have a business established yet, I'm going to teach you how to establish your business and decide whether you want to be a sole proprietor, LLC, or corporation. And then I'll tell you the steps on building it, and even talking about like business names, because with building business credit, you got to be mindful of business names too, because certain names they deem as risky. So you got to be mindful about that as well. So I'm going to talk about all of that. When I say I'm giving a lot, I'm giving a whole lot of information. I'm giving a whole lot. Like I'm working on it, and every day I'm adding more and more stuff that I'm remembering to add, that comes to my mind. But does anybody have any questions before I get out of here? Ashanti, thank you so much for getting on. I literally met Ashanti in a group yesterday. That we were both commenting on a post, and she asked me about the credit, and I said sure. I was like, can I send you a friend request so you can come live? And she literally came. So Ashanti, I'm glad you came tonight. It's so good to meet you. It's next Saturday at 2 p.m. It's next Saturday at 2 p.m. And if you cannot come live, it's going to be recorded. So I'm going to send out an email. So anybody that can't be there live next Saturday, I know it's Saturday, people out and about. I chose Saturday because it's the best day for me. But I understand that people are going to be out and about and stuff on Saturday. So if you can't come live, that's fine. I'm going to send the email out. I'm going to send the replay out. Oh, yeah, Tracy. So yeah, this is my new unit. This is my first time wearing this. How y'all like my new unit? Y'all know I'm not ashamed that I wear wigs. This is my new unit. I want to show you the top. This, you can kind of see the top a little bit, but this is my new unit. I got another big one that I wanted to wear. I call her Leslie. I got to figure out a name for her, but I hope y'all like my new unit. I was a little nervous about putting on this hair today because I had on a different one yesterday, but it's all good. I don't mind being open about wearing wigs. Thank you, Henry. Henry said it's beautiful. Thank you. I got to figure out a name for her. I was going to wear Leslie, but Leslie wasn't acting right. So I put her on and I got to figure out a name for her. Thank you, Ashanti. Thank y'all. Any questions before I log off? I just want to make sure I'm not missing nobody. Let me just look at my notes real quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. Y'all know I'm a teacher, so I take notes. And then don't forget, and feel free to reach out. Shut up, Amber. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. If you have any business questions, business credit questions, please just come to the class, because I'm going to give a lot of stuff, and like I tell my students, I don't like repeating myself. I always refer them to the recording when they have questions. So take the class first and then see if you have any questions after that, because everything you might ask me about, I'm already going to say it probably. Henry said he loved the ambience and the background color. Red is my favorite color. Thank you, Henry. I painted that a few years ago. All right, so we're going to get ready to get off here. Thank y'all so much for being on. I hope to see y'all next Saturday. Let me know if y'all have any questions. Let me see. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night.